Good evening and a warm welcome. You're watching Viewpoint with me, Griha. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Council of Ministers will have to undergo a parliamentary test. A no-confidence motion that has been moved against his government by Congress's Lok Sabha Deputy and North-East leader Gaurav Gogoi, making this the second such motion against the Narendra Modi government. The first one was moved by TDP in the year 2018 over the non-allocation of adequate funds for the successor state of Andhra Pradesh, and it was backed by the opposition parties. The government sailed through that one then and is unlikely to be worried on the number front this time either, with the NDA government having 331 members in the House and the BJP alone boasting of 303 of those. The newly named India Alliance has 144 MPs, while neutral parties such as BRS, the YSRCP and the Biju Janata Dal have a combined strength of 70. This effectively means that even if all the non-NDA parties come together, the BJP still has the numbers to survive a no-confidence motion. So why this motion then? Also, how justified is it really to use this as a last instrument to make the Prime Minister speak in the Lok Sabha on the Manipur issue? As it stands, the Lok Sabha Speaker, Om Birla, has accepted the motion, and the discussion on this motion will be taken up in all probability tomorrow. Remember, it is now 15 years since such a discussion took place in the Lok Sabha. The last one was in 2003, when the then Prime Minister, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, was defeated. In fact, he defeated a no-confidence motion that was moved by Sonia Gandhi.
And all that we do is we shout, we create ruckus, we create indecorous behavior.
I'm astonished to hear a member of this house call other members of this house dhokebaz.
समझता हूँ चिदम्बरम जी ने माफी मांगी थी। चिदम्बरम जी ने जो चेयर के ऊपर प्रश्न उठाया, ये एक प्रकार से अवमानना है चेयर की।
It is quite disappointing for the Prime Minister to almost kind of show his back to the people of Manipur. And that is what the message India Alliance wants to send. That the Prime Minister may have forgotten, but India Alliance for sure stands with the people of Manipur in their time of need.
It is a legitimate parliamentary instrument called the no confidence motion, which members of the India group are planning to move against the government.
So when we talk about this no-confidence motion that is to be discussed on July 27th, this will in fact be the 27th no-confidence motion in our parliamentary history. And on that note, let's now take a look at all the past no-trust motions. So let's look at the first one, which was passed against Jawaharlal Nehru. He, in fact, ended up facing this motion twice in the year 1963 and won both of these. So remember, in 1952, the rules of the Lok Sabha provided that a no-confidence motion could be moved with the support of just 30 MPs. Right now, it is 50. Even then, not a single no-confidence motion was moved during the term of the first two Lok Sabhas under Jawaharlal Nehru. It was only during the third Lok Sabha in the year 1963 that the first one was moved by Acharya J. Kripalani against the government that was headed by the Prime Minister then, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And the debate on that motion lasted for 21 hours over 4 days with 40 MPs participating. If we take a look at the other one was faced by Indira Gandhi. In fact, she ended up facing 15 of those motions, and all the times she survived. Now, what had happened in this case, if we take a look at the tenure between 1964 to 1975, Lok Sabha in fact debated 15 no-confidence motions. 3 were against Lal Bahadur Shastri. 12 of those were against Indira Gandhi. And Indira Gandhi later went on to face 3 more no-confidence motions between 1981 and 1982. However, none of these was successful in dislodging her government. Going further, if we talk about Morarji Desai, he in fact faced the motion twice and he had to quit in 1979. This was in fact the first no confidence motion that led to the falling of a government, and it was moved by Y.B. Chavan in the year 1979 against the government of the then Prime Minister Morarji Desai. And after a 9-hour debate spread over 2 days, Desai resigned even before the motion could be put to vote. Later, taking a look at Rajiv Gandhi, he in fact a no trust motion only once in the year 1987, which he defeated by a simple voice vote because of his overwhelming majority in the Lok Sabha. Later, his counterpart, Mr. Narasimha Rao, he faced 3 no confidence motions as Prime Minister. Back then, he in fact had 2 close shaves during his term in the 10th Lok Sabha. And the first motion against him was moved by Jaswant Singh, which he defeated with a margin of just 46 votes. Rao did not face any trouble in defeating the second one that was moved by Atal Bihari Vajpayee, but the third no confidence motion that Rao defeated with a margin of just 14 votes was marred by controversy as Jharkhand Mukti Morcha MPs were taken to court for having accepted bribes to cast their vote to defeat the motion. Later, as was mentioning about Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he lost the floor test in 1999 but won the no confidence motion in 2003. And also looking at Narendra Modi, as I mentioned, he has this is only the second time that there has been a no trust vote against him. The other one, the latest one, is all set to be discussed. But he has survived that no trust motion in the year 2018 by 195 votes that was actually passed against him by the TDP. So this is what the so far history is, so to speak, when it is about no trust motions. Let me on that note open this up to my guests who are joining me on the broadcast. Sujata Paul of the Congress Party is with us. Nitin Tyagi, who is a spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, is also with us on the broadcast. Also joining us is Ghanshyam Tiwari of the Samajwadi Party. We also will be having Kovai Satyan, the spokesperson of AIADMK, and later we'll also be joined by RP Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Let me actually take this across to the person from the Congress Party, Sujata Paul. Sujata, if you can hear me, I'd first like to understand, I've just broken down the numbers for our viewers on how does it look like as Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Council of Ministers are all set to be facing that no trust vote. Why go ahead and pass it when you know that this will survive the test of times and of course the numbers are in their favor?
You have already given a historical perspective of the no confidence motions. Now, the non-democratic alliance of Mr. Modi is facing this again because there is no trust left in him or his government. And when there are so many issues and he answers none, he only condemns, derogates, demeans his opposition when he is supposed to be answerable. This is the only option left before us. 78 days passed and he had 36 seconds for the people of Manipur and more specifically for the women of Manipur. We are 50% of this population and the Prime Minister is not bothered about us. What else do you expect? If you remember, they had said that Article 355 had been imposed in Manipur and there was no answer because there was no notification which was issued. So the Prime Minister must come and answer about that. He should also answer about the houses of his own ministers and cabinet ministers whose houses have been set aflame. He should answer how come an ADGP, Clay Kongsai, his house was set on fire. Why did nobody go and meet Mr. Wungzagen Walte, who has been in hospital in Delhi for the last 2 months and he was almost paralyzed. He was given electric shocks.
All your points taken, Sujata, but the primary question is that just in order to bring the BJP onto the mat, bringing in a no confidence motion, a no trust vote against the Narendra Modi government, how justified is that act? This can be termed as a last-ditch attempt, even though the opposition alliance, India, knows that they are going to be winning it. Just in order to get him to the parliament, do you think you can gag him and get him to speak about Manipur? Is that a coherent enough move at all?
Should we have had any reason to gag him and force him to come to parliament? But we have to get him to parliament because he is answerable to the people of India through parliament. He is the leader of the house. Now, You were talking about making him speak. No, we are making him accountable on various issues. We are making him accountable to the people of India, and that's why we want him to come there. Do you know that this is a border state and the NSA is nowhere to be seen? Who is the Home Minister doing a favor when he says we are ready to debate this? No. We want answers from the Prime Minister. And of course, we were offering something better to the Prime Minister. He could have spoken right at the beginning. If under Rule 267, this issue could have been discussed and debated. But no, it has to be a limited time discussion under Rule 176, which the people of Manipur do not accept and the people of India do not accept. He can go and say whatever he wants about India, but it does not matter anymore because he has shown that he stands against India when the RSS is complicit in what is happening in Manipur, when Biren Singh has failed as a chief minister in Manipur and he refuses to remove him. Just like
when you say RSS is complicit in whatever is happening in Manipur, what do you exactly mean, Sujata?
What is happening in Manipur? We are seeing that Article 355, they said, had been implemented there, but there has been no notification. The governor has said that I have never seen this kind of situation anywhere else ever before. But he has not spoken. When did he speak? He went hugging the France chief, Macron. He went to address the joint session of parliament in US. And he refuses to come to our own parliament. This issue is being discussed across the world in UK parliament, in the EU parliament. And our prime minister doesn't want to talk about it in our parliament when 4,000 weapons have been looted, according to them, or rather distributed to the militants who are raining havoc in the state, where women are having to, being paraded in public naked with their vaginas being thrust literally in front of the world. He is making us all feel naked and he is not answerable.
Okay, RP Singh of the BJP is with us now. RP Singh, please respond to all these allegations that the Congress is making. Also, one change, Nimi Rastogi now joins us from the Aam Aadmi Party. We will be going to Nimi Rastogi in just a bit. But RP Singh, your response.
Before I answer that, let me just play out the video of today's court scene outside Rouse Avenue Court. This is a woman who was raped, stripped, and her family was in 1984. Today, after 39
Mr. Singh, are you trying to say that everything, two wrongs make a right? Are you trying to say that, Mr. Singh, let's not put out any videos, let's not put out any mobile videos. We have videos, we will be putting it on our screens. Our producers are very, very competent to put the videos on the screen. But I just want to understand the allegations that the Congress is making. How is the BJP responding to it? And why is the Prime Minister choosing to stay away from this conversation around Manipur?
I'm responding to that. Give me a second. I'm responding to that. 39 years ongoing struggle in the courts and all the pressure by the Congress and Congress party, and after that we could just get the cognizance of the charge sheet. The women were raped, they were stripped, 27 people get single women, and families were brutally killed. Give me, ma'am, how can we one instance be there and other can be there?
Manipur.
Women were stripped and then families were killed.
Absolutely. So will the Prime Minister speak about it? Mr. Singh, will the Prime Minister speak about it?
So, obviously, Prime Minister spoke about that in the Parliament itself, outside or inside.
No. How is it outside or inside? How is it outside or inside? We are talking about the seat of democracy in the country, which is the Parliament. Why is he staying away? One second, Mr. Singh, why is he staying away from a conversation inside the premises of the Parliament? What does inside or outside mean? He's supposed to be speaking to the members who have been elected, the chosen members to represent the country, represent India. Why is he staying away from that conversation?
When did the Prime Minister say he won't speak in the Parliament? It is the Home Minister who said that I am the Home Minister. He is in charge of the law and order situation in the country. He is in charge of the Northeast Department. So he said, I am prepared to debate and open up the debate and speak on the subject, and we are prepared to discuss at length. He wrote a letter to to both Mallikarjun Kharge, the Rajya Sabha leader, and Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, the Lok Sabha leader, and said, let's come in debate. And it was not that Prime Minister would not intervene or have not spoken. I mean, how can you treat it like this? But it's not necessary that Prime Minister should open a debate. The Home Minister, the person who is concerned, the Minister who is concerned, is prepared to open the debate, speak on the subject, and he said, as much long as you want to. But they don't want to, because they know if the discussion is done on Manipur, it will be great issues which will raise, and there are no answers for those issues. And it will not only Manipur, then Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal. What happened in Rajasthan other day? A Dalit woman, a tribal woman, was raped and stripped apart in Rajasthan. No
Mr.
question
Singh.
on that. No question being asked on that.
Mr. Singh, answer this.
West Bengal, no
Mr.
question
Singh,
being asked on that.
allow me to come in. Answer this. You do understand that the situation in Manipur, where the violence has spread out over 80 days, has really got out of hand. This is a state in the country that is burning, and it needs immediate attention and intervention of the high offices. That includes the Prime Minister's office. The Prime Minister himself has sent out his deputy, his Home Minister, not once but on two occasions, to actually take a stock of the situation in Manipur. However, the allegations are, and what we see happening despite that, despite the fact that there needs to be a ceasefire, there needs to be a dialogue and discussion as was suggested by the Home Minister, the situation has not improved. Don't you think now, after more than 80 days, that important intervention of the Prime Minister is needed? I take your point that there are other states where there are violence against women, but don't you think Manipur also needs precedence at the moment? And just bringing in those states as an alibi does not take away from the fact that the Prime Minister should not respond.
But as per you, woman in Delhi who suffered at 84 is not a woman. Woman in Chhattisgarh or in Rajasthan.
We are going in circles. You've not answered my question. All right. Let me actually bring in. Let me get Nimi Rastogi. 1 second. You are going around in circles, Mr. Singh. Nimi Rastogi. Let me actually take a page from BJP's book. Let me take a page from. 1 second. I'll come to you, Mr. Singh, and ask you this: when your leader and the Delhi Chief Minister, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, runs away from having a conversation or response on, let's say, the flood situation in Delhi, there are fresh rains that have lashed the national capital region, and then expects the Prime Minister to respond on what the opposition is asking, how does one take these double standards?
Well, that's hardly a double standard. Arvind Kejriwal is a person who leads by front. I mean, he has never shied away from his responsibilities. He has made umpteenth appearances on the TV.
It's just happened 15 minutes back. It's just happened, ma'am.
Prime Minister to be that tall and intuitive leader to understand the mood and sentiments of the country today. Not just the country, the international reputation of the country is at stake. Our relationship with the other neighboring countries at stake. So what is taking him that long, and what kind of obduracy is this? That the entire nation is pleading him to open his mouth, to clarify certain things, and he is keeping mum. I mean, what kind of political vision it is? And look at the logic that the opposition, the ruling party is giving. He says, "Wahan bhi ho raha hai." It's happening in Rajasthan. So two wrongs don't make it right, as you correctly said, Griha. And, the whole argument is so light that they are not taking Manipur seriously. They are not taking this no objection, no confidence motion seriously. They neither respect democracy nor they respect the constitution. They use it to their advantage. So I'm extremely disappointed.
But Nimi, the question is, have you taken the no confidence motion seriously? It has been seen as a last-ditch attempt of the opposition to bring the Prime Minister to the House, get him to speak, and in that process, probably ask him to speak about Manipur. Basically, corner him. That's what the idea is, because the numbers they are not stacked against him. And that's the obvious truth. Together, India is 144 in the House. They are more than 303. 303 is just the BJP number that I'm quoting right now.
So we are maintaining that it's not about strength or who's stronger, who's weaker. It's not about the number. It's an extreme measure. Extraordinary situations demand extraordinary acts. So it's an extreme measure, and look at how ludicrous, how disrespectful and disgraceful it will look that we needed to resort to the extreme action just because we want our Prime Minister, whom we voted for, to come and speak.
Okay, so tell me this. What purpose is this going to be solving? Nimi, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow in the Parliament?
Well, at least we'll have a statement from our Honorable Prime Minister that everybody wishes to speak, and also give them a sense of seriousness about the situation, law and order in BJP ruled states, as well as, don't take the opposition lightly. I mean, we are here to question you. The strength of democracy lies in the strength of opposition. So try and respect us and try and answer our questions.
Okay, Kovai Satyan, let me bring you in here. Do you think this is what is going to be the response tomorrow out of the Parliament, which has seen 5 days of unstopped, unabated, no business happening inside the House? Do you think this no trust vote is going to be bringing some sort of semblance there in the Lok Sabha?
The entire episode, it's a futile exercise. And they know that they are fighting a losing battle. But however, what's happening is, they are dynasts who have come together in the name of democracy and protecting democracy. INDAA for us stands is in the name of Dynasty Influence Association. They are not alliance. The regional parties who runs a dynasty rule for decades have joined together, and they were so desperate for a common narrative to put it across to the people, covering their inefficiency, incompetence and the cracks that are appearing within themselves, has suddenly found Manipur to be their savior, Manipur issue to be their savior. Let me ask the opposition one simple question. The Prince Charming Rahul Gandhi went there. What is the outcome? There are hundreds of relief camps. This opposition, so-called opposition alliance, couldn't even give them a pinch of salt, couldn't even give them or extend their helping hand towards the suffering people. All they are interested to enact drama and theatrics inside the Lok Sabha, drawing the attention of Prime Minister.
But Kovai Satyan, at least Rahul Gandhi and a member of the TMC delegation has gone there. The Prime Minister hasn't even found the time to go there. He is going to go to MP. He is going to be going to Bhopal because it's an election state. Why not Manipur?
So where is this narrative coming in that he has to visit? Amit Shah visited there and he is willing to talk and discuss in the Parliament. Why opposition not coming forward? Do they want a solution? Have the opposition so far sent out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pointers to safeguard Manipur, to save Manipur?
What according to you is the solution? Mr. Kovai Satyan, let's say the Prime Minister doesn't have to go there. Mr. Satyan, let's say the Prime Minister doesn't have to visit there. What according to you is the solution, the Manipur solution?
Yeah, speak it out. You wanted answers and somebody is willing to answer your questions and somebody is willing to discuss in the Parliament. The Honorable Home Minister extended his cooperation, fullest cooperation. What is this kind of narrative that only PM should speak, not others? And where it is heading to? Tomorrow they will say Prime Minister should come in black dress, not in white dress or any other dress to come and speak in the Parliament. What is this kind of narrative they are desperate about? Do they need a solution or they want to spin on the same rhetoric?
What is the solution? I just asked you that question. You must be having at least one point over the solution in the Manipur crisis. What is that solution? Give me one. Mr. Satyan.
Speak it out. Address the core issue. Get the narrative right. The law and order is a state subject. Nobody will say the state has failed there. They have to admit it. And women being paraded naked, tortured, harassed, molested, raped and killed is not an excuse.
No, but I don't understand. It's a state subject. Mr. Biren Singh is not answering. It's also the Prime Minister who is not answering. It's a double engine sarkar as it's been claimed by the BJP. There is no answer that's coming in. How is that a solution? How is speaking about it as a solution?
My point is, did the opposition say this is where the government went wrong? There were options to nip in the bud. They didn't nip in the bud. Things are going out of control. There were no actions. But what is the core issue that has to be addressed to sort this out? Nobody in India knows it. What is the core issue? Somebody says it's been quickie and meaty. Somebody says the infiltrators from Myanmar. Somebody says external forces. Somebody says internal rivalry. When will India come to know? When will the nation come to know what is the core and the real issue?
That's exactly what I'm asking. Are you understanding what the core issue is? Yeah, Ghanshyam Tiwari. All right, let me bring in Ghanshyam Tiwari of the Samajwadi Party. He's been patiently waiting. Ghanshyam Tiwari, it goes into a log jam time and again, 5th day in a row. And the debate started with whether the debate should be under the Rule 267 or 176. Right now, it has gone to the extent of no confidence motion. Where do you see this headed? You are the alliance partner. I'm sure your answer is going to be, as same as the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party, but I'm still expecting different. Where do you see this going?
Good evening to you, my fellow co-panelists and the viewers. And as the nation celebrates Kargil Vijay Diwas, and we lay our hands out in gratitude for the soldiers who fought the Kargil war. There's one soldier whose family was completely demolished, and he feels that he alone, his head hangs in shame. But it's the nation whose head hangs in shame, that his wife was violated in such brutal manner. And today, that the Prime Minister has spent only 36 seconds. He has visited over 10 countries, 36 countries in the last 3 months, several states, and the Prime Minister, who has a powerful majority, cannot find courage to stand in the parliament and address Manipur.
No, Ghanshyam Bhai, I'm really sorry. Give me something else. You know what? I've been having this debate all through this week. This is Wednesday. This is Wednesday. This is the 5th day of the parliament with no action whatsoever. It's only rabble-rousing. Each and every member of the India Alliance says exactly what you've said, verbatim. I want to understand what is the solution that you think the Manipur crisis will and should have. Are you looking at an intervention vis-a-vis the High Court because of which this crisis has started? Because none of you are talking about it. Let's nip it in the bud.
There are 37 BJP MLAs, several of them injured. They are crying for a meeting with the parliament. The governor, a woman governor, is crying for the government to intervene. The chief minister is brazen on television saying that you are talking about only one case. There are 100 such cases. This is the chief minister. In neighboring Mizoram, the chief minister is taking out peace march. Have you seen a single BJP member of parliament or leader participate in any kind of peace march? They are the people who build hatred. And you ask, what is the solution? If in a vibrant democracy like India, the Prime Minister of India is afraid to speak in parliament, then what can be the solution? He has to dismiss the chief minister, but the Prime Minister will not speak. He has to come and answer, be accountable. Just a year back, he was begging votes of people of Manipur, saying that we will bring peace. You left an entire state in shambles. And here, the NDA spokesperson from AIDMK shamelessly and shockingly says, I don't know what is going on. What a shame. They just had a meeting with the Prime Minister. And if they don't know, if NDA does not know, the cabinet does not know, the Prime Minister does not know, what is it? Amit Shah, is he a magician? No. He is a home minister. He is also accountable. Accountability means take responsibility. If you can't handle it, resign. If Smriti Irani cannot resign, if Amit Shah cannot resign, the Prime Minister cannot speak in Parliament, their spokespersons such as RP Singh ji and the AIDMK come here and do whataboutery. In India, there are 1,000 cases against women on an average that happen every day. There are nearly 100 rapes that happen every day. For BJP to do whataboutery, that what about this state, what about that state? Tell me one day where a brutal rape doesn't happen in Uttar Pradesh, but it is not about whataboutery. There is a complete failure of administration, state, morality in Manipur. A freedom fighter's wife was burnt alive. People are missing. The chief minister is unaccountable. The governor doesn't know what to do. And the prime minister is missing. He can't face the parliament. It is shameful. There is not here, not on this debate. You, me, or anyone can find the solution if the Prime Minister shamelessly remains unaccountable. Okay, RP Singh, you wanted to respond. I also would like to ask of you, there was a BJP parliamentary meeting that happened yesterday. The only communique that came out of it was how the Prime Minister targeted and attacked the name India, the acronym that the alliance stands for, and that's it. Was there at all a discussion about Manipur? Mr. Singh. Well, I have no privy to, thank you. I have no privy to what happened inside the meeting. You would have, you are describing it. I have no privy to that. One. Secondly, how are we disturbing it? That Home Minister has. How are we disturbing any meeting? The meeting happened. We got a response from Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad that the Prime Minister said this against the India Alliance and their name. What about Manipur? Can I complete? Yes. So, Home Minister is prepared to discuss each and every subject threadbare about Manipur. And it's not said that Prime Minister would not intervene or not speak. I mean, it was never said that way also. But again,
because you have to play politics into it. And again, I reiterate that it's not happening for the first time. In Manipur, there used to be bunds and lockouts and then lockdowns for days together, months together. And then Manipur used to suffer, Manipur used to burn. But we have tried to build up some sort of a peace there, and then it has been peaceful state throughout, except one of the decision by the court which has unturned the thing. So it takes some time to recover that. But how does it conclude to this that we are not prepared to discuss?
Mr. Singh, the fact that you are saying Manipur has been peaceful under the BJP regime, you also need to account for the fact that it's been more than 89 days that it's not been peaceful. And there's no answering and there's no staying away from that aspect. There was an open call that Biren Singh should resign. Nothing has been done about it. He is not being, taken as a person who should be accountable as the Chief Minister of the state. The Prime Minister is not willing to speak about it. I'm asking you a simple question that BJP parliamentary meeting में तो कुछ बात हुई होगी. आप वो भी नहीं कह रहे हैं कि उसमें क्या हुआ हमें नहीं पता. We did not disturb the meeting. I did not understand what you meant by it.
इससे पहले जब वहाँ मुख्यमंत्री थे वहाँ पर जब 200 दिन की 150 दिन की वहाँ पर लॉकडाउन रहता था और
सर आप अभी की बात करिए ना. 80 दिन से ज्यादा हो गए हैं सर. जल रहा है मणिपुर.
अरे आप नहीं तो मैं तो आपको दिन गिना कर दे रहा हूँ. 180 दिन तक बंद रहे वहाँ पर 6-6 महीने लगातार बंद रहा है.
You again going back? Yeah, Sujata Paul, please respond.
Yes,
Sujata.
You know what he is saying is totally false, and I remind you what happened on. If he can be quiet for a minute. Let me remind you what happened on
Mr. Singh, you had your chance. Let her respond.
5th November 2000, Iram Sharmila started her hunger strike.
Yeah.
Who was in power? Atal Bihari Vajpayee. On 18 June 2001, the Speaker's house was set on fire. Whose government was there in the center? It was your government, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And let me remind you that in August 2004, when our government came and we inherited all this, what did we do? Manorma issue started, and we ensured that we promised and we implemented it also, that AFSPA started getting removed from various places. Now, the BJP government came and look at the contradictory statements. Mr. Biren Singh removed AFSPA from a few police stations in the month of March 2023. And after that, there is an organization called Arambai Bengal, which was formed in April, disbanded after they looted or were given the 4,000 arms in May 2023. Another organization, Mehdi Lepun, whose chief is a follower of Golwalkar, and there are pictures of it all over the internet. He asked for he formed this organization where they said we will wipe out cookies. This is how the involvement of RSS is there. And the last point, UKLF has already said that Ram Madhav and him
Let her complete.
Please stop making false
took their head to win elections. So this is something that you are allowing to happen.
No, Mr. Singh, she's just responding to the claims that you were making. You called it peaceful. You called it was not peaceful before we came in. She's just given you a data. She's backing her claims with the data. What are you doing?
I told you the data. I'm giving you data. More than 180 days there were bunds in Manipur.
When, sir?
Did the Chief Minister resign then? Although there could be there could
not after.
Don't make a blanket statement.
August.
Don't make a blanket statement. Back it with claims.
2000. Give me a second. 2006, 2007, 2008. Please, I'll ask your research team to check how many times there used to be bunds.
He's just speaking
all right.
live.
Let me actually come in here. Thank you so much, Sujata, Mr. Singh, Miss Nimi Rastogi, Ghanshyam Tiwari, and also Kovain Satyan for joining us. Unfortunately, we had so many political parties representatives. All of them were asked a simple question: what do you think is the solution to this Manipur crisis? And none of them had an answer. And this is what is happening in the parliament as well. Because right now, the sparring is whether the Prime Minister should speak or not. When it is about the solution to Manipur, they really do not know which way should the first statement be made and which way should it be headed. That's what the problem is. I'll leave it at that. I'm slipping into a very short break, coming right back on Viewpoint.